Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sipnewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. And just when we thought all of the drama was winding down with Ben Armstrong and the whatever they're called now, Discover Crypto channel, we were so wrong. And man, is it getting good. Like all of these leaked documents and little tidbits of info that we're just finding out. Now, I didn't cover the last video that was released by Discover Crypto because I figured, it's winding down. I'm going to let it be. But no, I think that we're at the very top of the iceberg. So I'm going to go ahead and play that video now because, I think it's unfair how they kind of like interwove the video that Ben himself released, which I knew that was gonna he shouldn't have done that. That was gonna wind up being a problem for him. But there's little things that are interlaced into there that we've got to get to. And of course, as usual, I will constantly pause and interject my own little commentary. So let's get to it.
Welcome to Discover Crypto. Today marks the beginning of a new era on this channel.
Before I move on, I just want to say, you know what? I don't have this huge production that they have. It's just me working all of this stuff, and his audio is terrible. His audio continues to clip. Like I think whoever's doing their sound guy or sound woman, it's just terrible.
As you know, Ben had been a part of this team and this channel for many years. We recently announced his complete removal and buyout from this company.
Keeps
In his
clipping.
own words,
Bitboy is dead. Bitboy is dead. But Bitboy is dead. There is no Bitboy. There's no Bit Squad. It's over.
there's no doubt his removal will have a dramatic effect on this channel. This decision was not made lightly and had many contributing factors. Up until this point, Ben has shared his version of the story with you.
You're going to know now I had an affair. And it went on for a while. But the fact is that I've messed up. I can't make an excuse for an affair. Been taking diet pills and I've been taking some steroids. I do steroids, guys. Big shocker. I take testosterone and I take maybe some Dynabol every once in a while. It's not a big deal. And sometimes when you're in business and you're in the heat of the battle, you forget the things that are really important. What's really important are the people that are around you, how you treat them. I threatened to beat the crap out of TJ when I found out he was trying to take everything from me. I threatened him, and I did threaten him. I act a little erratic. You guys, if you've ever seen erratic behavior on my channel, it's because I've been taking those diet pills. I just think at the end of the day, my perspective of what was going on was.
Bear in mind, they didn't have to do any of this. They didn't have to interlace this video with their announcement. They could have just said, "We're moving on, and that's that. We're kicking off, a new kind of culture here at Discover Crypto." No, they had to throw this in. They didn't have to do that.
Probably not accurate.
In addition to the things Ben has shared regarding his affair, substance abuse, and aggressive behavior towards employees, I promise you there is much more to this story. We care deeply about the truth, and each and every one of you watching right now. Integrity is one of our core values here.
Did you ever watch the behind the scenes video where they took a tour of what was going to be the new office? It was like a $3 million building. And Ben was walking around and he was like, man, I didn't think that I would ever like have a place like this. And TJ goes, yeah, before you met me, you never knew how to dream big. And when he said that, I was like, oh, there was just something about it that felt dirty. And now he's showing his true colors. I've always got like when you meet somebody and you just don't know how to describe, you can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something off about I always got that vibe from him.
And I do think the truth will come out in time. I don't want to say anything negative about my friend and ex-business partner.
Oh no, I don't want to say anything negative. Here, I'm just going to interloop this whole video where he's basically self-humiliating himself and we're just going to play it all again, just because.
Right now. Please think about how you would feel in my position. I don't want to be here. I loved building this channel and business with Ben. We had a great dynamic and a lot of fun over the years. This hurts all of us.
Anybody that supports Vimeo going forward, you can forget it. That thing's gonna be done on arrival, no question about it. That's not that thing's never gonna take off. Vimeo is gonna do amazing. Vimeo is gonna be the NFT platform I told you guys in the beginning. But when Vimeo comes out, you're not gonna see an NFT platform that's gonna be able to touch it. There's not gonna be a better platform than Vimeo. Look at Hit Network. What is Hit Network? It's a bunch of garbage. That's what it is. And I can tell you guys that Hit Network is dead. Hit Network is going to be dead going forward. All of those shows are going to be gone. 100%. All of our brands that we have are amazing.
It hurts his family on many different levels. It hurts me, it hurts our employees, and ultimately it hurts all of you. It just sucks.
It doesn't hurt any of us. None of us are affected, by the way. None of us are personally affected by any of this.
Unfortunately, Ben crossed several lines and forced me into a position with no alternatives. I had to take action to protect the team at Hit Network and the company. It became clear there was only one path forward. What I will say is every person here at Hit Network cares for Ben, his wife
Lies.
Bethany, their 3 children, and his entire family. We want to see them happy and healthy. This has been a very painful and stressful time for us here at Hit Network. None of us wanted to get the rug pulled out from under us like this. I also wanted to address some of the recent statements Ben has made regarding the environment here at Hit Network and say those statements are unequivocally false.
You're told that if you reach out to clarify and to try to get clarification on what has happened, that you're fired.
There have been no threats towards employees regarding communications with Ben. In fact, I encouraged many of our team members to reach out to Ben as a friend because we do care about him as a person.
I have family members that are in that spot over there right now. I have brothers that work for me.
This is my brother. And so, like, the CEO of the company
This is his brother. His brother is still working over there.
has been very respectful and has like kept a lot of stuff under wraps, and I'm going to continue to do that until it all becomes public knowledge out of respect for our CEO, because he has been extremely kind to me and has reached out to me and like is helping me the best that he can. I still have a job, and he's just been an absolutely wonderful person throughout this entire process.
Everyone standing here is here on their own accord. We are a family here at Hit Network. We work hard, we love crypto, and we stand together. Join us today as we embark on a new journey to discover crypto together.
Okay, shut up. So anyway, that was what we heard from what is now the Discover Crypto channel, right? Like that's their narrative. If you ever watch the Bitboy channel, you know, they would every now and then throw in those videos where it's like behind the scenes and you get to see how like the production staff, how they act towards one another and the things that they do and the little jokes that they would play. And to me, it seemed like, let me give you an example. Yesterday on Twitter, Jake Gagan put out a zeet saying, masculinity is under attack. Masculinity is not under attack. You know what is under attack? Toxic masculinity. And I think when you foment a culture of toxic masculinity, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a bunch of people who act and behave inappropriately. And it seems like that's gone on for a very, very long time. Another example. Do you remember when they released the audio tape of, you know, President Trump on the bus? I can't remember, Access Hollywood bus, and he's like, "Oh, I just grab him by the P word." And they just let you do it because you're famous, you're rich and famous. And everybody kind of just excused it as locker room talk. Oh, it's no big deal. It's locker room talk. Guess what? When a bunch of men get together, and I know this firsthand because I grew up with all brothers, I had a very unique perspective into seeing exactly how men act when they're alone. And I felt like an island because I was the only girl in the house. My parents were separated for a few years. And I know exactly how men act. And you know what? I think it's fine. If you guys want to roughhouse and do certain things and talk a certain way, that's cool. Nobody complains about it. It's until something happens that then somebody turns around and is like, "Oh my gosh." And he, you know, can you believe he did this? Well, he did this 1,000 times through the years and he never said anything. Like, look at Steven Crowder. Another bright example. Now everybody's crying about how, you know, he was so bad and he crossed the line so many times. Meanwhile, this has been going on for years and years. You didn't say anything. Now all of a sudden you want to cry about it. I think it's, you know, a little gross. And then we find out today there was some leaked documents from we don't know who did it, right? But they leaked it to this guy whose channel is called Crypto Banter, and he basically read off some of the court filings because now there's a court case. Of course, they're going to wind up suing and all of this stuff. It's going to take years and go back and forth. but he's going to read us portions of what is said. Now, wait, this is even better. Once we're done listening to this, we're going to go to X and listen to, well, not listen, I'm going to read to you Ben's response. So remember, when there's two sides to every story, each side is going to make their side sound the best it possibly can because, they want you to side with them. Let's listen to these not leaked audio files. We're going to listen to this gentleman read us the court papers. Oh, and by the way, TJ was saying that we don't want to tell you, all the stuff that happened because he's a good friend. We're only going to sit there and leak it. We're going to leak the court documents, and that's how we're going to do it.
Okay, now remember, guys, I haven't seen this. This is the first time that I'm seeing it. So, okay, apparently I'm not allowed to show it on the screen, but I can read it. So I'm gonna read it to you. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, wow. Okay, the court has jurisdiction. Let's look at the court. The court. Okay, I'm going to read this to you. The plaintiff is a domestic limited liability company, which is the company. Okay, and defendant is Armstrong, is a resident. I'm not going to mention where he lives because I don't want you to take this off. Let's look at the facts. Okay, on February 12th, TJ Shed formed the company. On February 24th, 2021, Armstrong formed the company. Blah blah blah. The company at the time, the formation of the company, and until thereafter. They each held 33% management in the company. So Ben had 33%, the two companies had 33%, and TJ had 33%. Okay, the company successfully generating revenue, beginning no later than mid-July 2023. Okay, here it is. This is where the action starts. Okay, are you listening? Okay, so I'm not allowed to show it on screen because it could give away my source. It says, beginning no later then mid-July 2023, plaintiffs began to discover a pattern of misconduct by Armstrong, including, inter alia, theft and mishandling of company.
Let me just pause it there. So no later than July of 2023, July, August is when this all went down. So all of this just started a few weeks ago?
Company assets, physical and verbal abuse and threats of physical abuse of company employees, being under the influence or in possession of substances while on company premises and violating the company's operating agreement and company's policies. So they're accusing him. It's employee. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to just move it onto a screen where I don't have to keep looking up. And I'm not going to show it on the screen because I have told my source that I'm not going to share it. But I mean, we have got the document, as you can see, in front of me. Okay, unlawfully pledging, hypothecating, assigning and transferring, setting over, settling, delivering, pawning, otherwise exercising dominion over non-fungible tokens. So here they're talking about I think the Bored Ape that he owns. And what they're saying is that that Bored Ape was actually owned by the company, and Armstrong was pledging the asset as a security.
So what probably happened, I mean, I don't know, I'm just listening to this. Sometimes you can take your cryptocurrency. Let's say if you need some funds to do a deal or, make some quick flip something quickly to make some money, but you don't want to sell your assets to make that money. You could put your other crypto up as a collateral, then make the deal, make the money, and, repay the loan. And they're saying that he used one of the NFTs, one of the Bored Ape NFTs, as basically collateral for a loan,
using it to take loans, which totaled over $176,000 worth of loans. So that's the first thing, and they talk about this being transferred, unlawfully pledging, assigning company property. So again, they keep talking about this loan that he took against the company's Bored Ape Yacht Club. Then it says here, unlawfully diverting sums as large as $50,000 per month from the company's sponsorship revenue to an independent contractor who Armstrong was having an inappropriate relationship with. So here what they're saying is that he was taking money from the company, $50,000 a month.
50 G's a month was going to Cassie. when I first heard this, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder, if Mrs. Bitboy knows and how she's going to feel about hearing those figures, because that's a lot of money. It's not, like even a $50,000 finder's fee, a one time, this is a month. Like that's a lot of money. But Ben has a response to that. And we'll get to that when I read you what he had to say over on X.
And paying it to a company which was allegedly owned by Cassie, who is the lady that Ben was allegedly having an affair with.
Not allegedly, he has admitted to it.
Okay, next. Physically attacking company employees on company premises during normal business hours and after hours by groping, grabbing, punching, pulling, thrusting, tackling, placing hands on, bending over, throwing full bottles of protein shake, and or engaging in lewd, obscene, and humiliating nature and verbally abusing company employees.
Once again, here is that culture we're talking about. Now, obviously, I didn't work there. I don't know how it is, but when you get that glimpse into the videos that they've released and knowing how, I remember the stuff my brothers did. Like they went too far, whatever, but I never complained because they never did it to me. They did it to one another. And I know guy friends that do weird, stupid things together. Like, look at Steven Crowder. He was apparently sending screenshots of or pictures of his genitals to other employees. Some men find that funny. I mean, I don't find it funny, but I know there are some men that do. And it sounds like that's the culture that was going on over there. Remember they were doing the pull ups the one time and they're all like challenging each other to the pull ups and they're running around and flexing and growling into the camera and yelling. And of course, it makes sense now. It sounds like they were all hopped up on steroids, according to Ben, because he was taking steroids and he was selling them steroids, according to him. I mean, I have no way to say for sure those other dudes were taking steroids, but Ben has admitted to taking steroids. And when you take steroids, it can alter your thought process. Like it really goes through your whole system, not only physically, but it affects you mentally as well. I'm not saying, listen, I'm not trying to defend Ben at all. I'm really not. But I think that this guy had a motive as to how to take over the company as a whole. So, I mean, I'll get to that later. My takeaway from the whole thing.
All of this, remember, whilst under the influence of allegedly steroids and Adderall and a whole lot of other things. Again, this is not my allegations. This is the allegations that are made in this document from the court, which I've got in front of me, which I just can't share the actual document because it's got
Somebody
the person's
leaked it
name
to
on that
him,
actually shared it
right?
with me. Attacking TJ Shed in the company offices on August 21, 2023. Possessing, abusing, and being under the influence of impaired by drugs. And
Ben has already admitted to the fact that he was like yelling at TJ and probably threatening him for trying to take over his company. How would you feel? Like, I can only imagine if I had built this channel into something that was like magnificent and I brought somebody on, one of my friends, I trusted them, brought them on, and we were like building it together, but I was like the face of it. And then one day it turns out that she or he was trying to take it over. I would be flipping out. I think you would too.
Steroids on the company premises during the company's operating hours. Then they talk about on the 25th of August, as direct and proximate as a result of Armstrong's and BTTJ's conduct pattern, they removed Armstrong and terminated Armstrong's employment from the company. We know about that. So that we know that they terminated his employment. The foregoing actions were taken in pursuit. The operating agreement provides the expulsion of. But the operating agreement provides that in connection with the expulsion of from the company, the purchase price for his ownership would be the fair value of the date of the shares on the date of elections, and that the closing of such purchase price would have to be within 30 days. So now they're saying, look, if we've kicked you out under these terms, we want to buy you back.
They want to be able to buy him out. Okay, this is what the company was worth at this particular date, and here you go. But they're probably going to want to deduct all of the stuff that they claim, like the loan for that NFT. If indeed that's true, then you know what? I think that would only be fair. If he took some kind of personal loan against that NFT, then yeah, he should have to pay that back. Unless it was funds that was, whatever, for the business, that's something different. But if it was something that he used for personal use, yeah, he needs to pay that back. 100%.
They demand that Armstrong return files, records, proprietary information, and other stuff. Armstrong possesses these things and is not actually fulfilling them. Okay, okay, they're looking for injunctive relief. So those are the allegations against Armstrong, and what they want to do is they want to buy him back. They want to get him out of the company. They want to buy him back. So again, what are they accused?
Okay, I'm not, going to play more of that because he just basically goes on to talk about the affair, which Ben has admitted to, but then he's like throwing up a picture of Cassie, and I just don't care about any of that. One thing I do want to remark on is that let me go ahead and put this up. So if you remember when Ben's brother was talking on the video, his own brother was sitting there talking on the video about how he's got respect for the CEO and stuff's gone on. You have to remember that dude is there collecting a paycheck. He probably doesn't know what's going on, or that maybe that they would even use the video like that. But Ben released on X the other day. Now, watch, I probably won't be able to find it. Anyway, he put et tu, Brute, which of course is the what happened to Julius Caesar. Here it is. Et tu, Brute. And that is what Caesar said as his best friend Brutus was stabbing him on the floor of the Senate. Turned around and he couldn't believe his best friend. It was his best friend stabbing him. Et tu, Brute. So, okay, now Ben's got some responses to all of that. So let's get into what Ben is saying. Let me just go back to StreamYard to make sure you guys are seeing this. Yes. Okay, this is very interesting. You guys want to know something funny? You guys should ask TJ about how he and his wife, Allie, met. He hired her as an assistant, AKA his subordinate. She was married. 2 weeks later, they started an affair. She left her husband and married TJ. It's hypocrisy for me. Additionally, Justin Williams, the head of the entire snake coming after me, also has had to leave a job for literally sleeping with his boss and close friend's wife. I'm not justifying my affair. It was wrong, but you guys need the context to understand what is happening to me. On this claim, Duchess of D5, this one is like the big one because my head exploded. When I heard that Cassie was getting 50 G's a month, I was like, whoa. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. On this claim, Duchess of DeFi, Cassie, has a contract from TJ paying her 5% of our stake deal. These claims are outrageously false, all of them. Everyone sees what they're doing and people see right through it. She got us the stake contract under the agreement that she would get 10%. Now, usually if somebody is working to get somebody business and they're not taking in like an outright paycheck, like a big paycheck, you normally work on a commission. And a normal commission is 10% for whatever clients that you bring in, but it's a set 10% for like the first year. Maybe the next year you get 5%, the next year you get 3%, and then after the third year you no longer collect commissions on them. She got that deal for them. She got that deal. So then Ben responds, and I convinced her the number was so big to take 5%. So 5%, and we know she's getting the 50 grand, right? That means she would have been entitled to 10%, which is 100 grand. That's $1 million deal a month that she brought in. If she brought in funds into Bitboy Crypto channel for $1 million a month, that's a lot of dough. They kind of just made it sound like, you know what? He was her sugar daddy. That's how they made it sound. Guys, there's documentation for all this. It was our biggest deal ever. Cassie was brought on to get sponsorships. She got the contract that is almost all of our monthly revenue, which, by the way, has not been paid since I left. The truth is going to come out, and when you guys see what they have done to me, this is going to send shockwaves across the entire YouTube industry. LOL, it's my company. It's not a public company. As long as I don't exceed 67% of the company funds, I can actually do whatever I want with the money. There's no embezzlement. You guys will find the grasping of straws soon. The death threats weren't enough for them to stop me. Like, and another thing is like, oh, I just love like scrolling through, looking at the comments because there have been some funny comments, I have to say. So then he goes on to say, I will not be commenting further. He does on the situation for now. All I will say is they're up the creek with add a paddle. I know people want me to stream right now, and there will be a time soon where I get back to it. But for now, I need to focus on saving my company. Also, FYI, they have been lying, saying that I agreed to a buyout. More lies and deception. I don't know where my glasses are. Where are my glasses? I don't know. Um, I just literally had to feel my face to make sure they weren't on. I'm so old. They also told the employees here, I'll just do this, right? They also told the employees that this is over and I agreed to separate and to a buyout. There has literally been zero discussion of this. I have been playing possum, folks. Time to rise. We'll go back here because I think he does release another. Yep, here's more. Make no mistake, I am Bitboy. He shouldn't have said that because he was all Bitboy's dead, right? But that's okay. I am Bitboy. I have certainly been humbled, and there will be a new attitude from me going forward. The humility doesn't come from defeat. It comes from the fact that I was so dumb. I thought my friends cared about me, whilst closest 3 friends at work plotted a coup. And I think he's got one more post. Hold on. Making a list of who I can trust, people clout chasing and colluding with Hit Network against me without getting my side are going to look very dumb soon. My family has been humiliated. TJ hates me. He always has. This is all about threatening me. Wait until it's all out. Now, I can see where he feels like TJ hates him because if you go back and watch the old videos and TJ's attitude towards Ben, you can tell there's just something's not right, something's off, and you know what? Maybe Ben should have caught it earlier, right? I have to constantly hit my camera because it's a Canon and turns off after 20 minutes all on its own. Imagine losing $1,000 per month sponsorship and then saying, I hurt the company that I own. The company literally cannot survive without the stake sponsorship, which will be coming back when I return. The employees need to understand they've been lied to for weeks. And like a bunch of lemmings, most of them have blindly followed TJ, Justin, and Carlos Diaz, aka Larry Smith. All of those people will see who actually hurt the company. They bribed you for your loyalty. Even members of my own family have been coerced and are now dead to me. Damn. Even members of my own family are dead to me. Oof. That's a hard. Oh, 1 minute ago. This is something new. If the Bitboy Crypto handle is changed, Hit Network will be paying to get it back. And once it's sniped, just like they're going to pay my lawyer's fees, this will all be over soon, just a little bit longer. It's my company. I own 67%. I am the majority shareholder. This is what I don't understand. If he owns like the preponderance of the company, the great majority of the company. My God, how is this possible? So this is going to be my takeaway from all of this. And it should be for you guys too, by the way. This is amazing. I am going to cover this every single second that I possibly can because make no mistake about it. This could happen to any one of us. And this needs to be a cautionary tale. Be careful who you trust, who you bring into your inner circle, who you try to help and work with, and people that you're, trying to enrich for their benefit. Be careful. You never know someone's motivations. Go back and watch a few of the videos on the old Bitboy channel, which is now Discover Crypto, and look at the way TJ actually talks to Ben. Like I said, I always got like a feeling from him like, like that's not cool. I wouldn't like if somebody talked to me, especially on camera where everybody's gonna see. Like it always gave me that like a yuck feeling. So this is going to be a very bitter battle. This is going to last a super long time because everyone here is digging in. No one is relent. Well, you know what? I can't even say that no one's relenting because Ben did relent. Like Ben definitely bent the knee. He forwarded that video to those guys, which they played, and they're going to wind up using that against him. See, he's toxic masculinity. He's aggressive. He admitted to threatening me. He's bad for the workplace. All of that is going to be used against Ben. He never should have made that video. If that was the culture of that workplace, at what point do you stop it? At what point are you like, you know what, guys? Maybe we've gone too far. Maybe I shouldn't have grabbed somebody's butt while they were doing pull-ups, or maybe I shouldn't have commented about a tape measure. Like maybe. But it's gone on for so long. When do you finally say, you know what? We're not going to have this toxic masculinity anymore. We're just going to be a normal workplace. I've worked in workplaces that were hilariously fun, like a video store when I was a teenager. It was crazy. It was a relaxed environment. We did our work, we got it done, but it was a lot of fun. And then I went to corporate where things were still lighthearted, fun, but very serious. We were all there to make money, get it done. Nobody ever acted the way these people acted. Like there was never any weird jokes and no, nope. We had guidelines and setups of how you're to conduct yourself. There wasn't a morality clause back then, but you knew if you got out of line, chances were you're going to get fired. And you didn't want to lose your good paying job, so you stayed in line. I think, listen, like I'm saying, cautionary tale, when you're building your company, especially if it's you building it and you sell a certain portion of it to somebody and you bring somebody in, be careful because they can wind up just taking it all away from you. Like a little channel that you started for years and then you got it blown up. And then somebody's gonna come and take, like, I get it. I would be super upset too. I found my glasses. Yay. Um, so yeah, I get it. And I know a lot of people think I'm taking Ben's side. It's not. It's because I myself am trying to grow this channel. And I know it's a lot of work. And then you work during your day job and you do a lot of work there. And it's just a lot of work. And to imagine somebody taking it just like that would drive me nuts. Well, that's going to do it here for me today. I know it's one of my longer videos, but I felt like I really had to cover all those videos because it just wouldn't have been a cohesive storyline without them. So I thank you so much for hanging in there with me and watching all of that and listening to my perspective. Listen, if you think I'm wrong, please leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what you think. How do you think this is going to work out? Do you think Ben is going to come out on top, or do you think TJ is going to go ahead and take the whole store home with him? Well, that's going to do it here for me today. I thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, try to only buy on the red candles. Bye.